Hello. Day before yesterday, I didn't make any videos for good reason. And being an information sponge, which I definitely am, I spent about 11 hours sifting through so much information, it'd just make your head spin. A significant portion of it I thought was totally unbelievable. I have a really good filter for, crazy stuff. Someone will send me a video that kind of superficially seems believable, and then they'll start blaming it on Hidden Planet X or so just, you know, real nonsense. If you sent me one of those videos, I apologize, but I, I don't consume nor do I regurgitate wackadoodle silliness like that. But a couple of the things I would have thought were completely unbelievable, and I'd like to remain objective because being subjective when it comes to talking about serious stuff is not all that helpful. Also, to specific social media avenues, such as they are, we know the answer to that one. Um, but I was shocked, and I actually honestly can tell you that I got sick from looking at the information, and some of the most amazing ones I had to confirm the sources on. Let's get to it. This one seems amazing, and I'm sure you've heard it, that New Zealand had one case, and they've gone into what they call stage 4. They've locked down the entire country. I'd like to comment on that, but in other news, someone had a traffic accident up in Seattle, Washington. So tomorrow they're going to close down all the roads in the United States. You see where I went with that? So New Zealand, the entire country, has gone into lockdown over one case. I'd like to remain objective and tell me what you think on that. I don't need to interject useless subjective statements about what is to anybody with a half a mind blatantly obvious. If you need a link on this, I'll gladly provide it to you. I didn't believe it myself. Department of Homeland Security updated their site to make anybody that doesn't agree with many of the things that are happening in the world today. They've let's just put it in brief. If you're like an honest, normal person, and you have questions or objections, or you're skeptical, the Department of Homeland Security's new updated website basically paints you like you're Bin Laden. And that seems like an exaggeration, but it's not. I couldn't believe this myself until I was reading down the list on the stuff in the Department of Homeland Security. So some of this stuff has been rolling down now for about a year and a half, where normal, just everyday, law-abiding Joe Blow citizens are being labeled, like they're labeling American citizens like they're the Taliban or something. Los Angeles, now you have to have the Magic Juice card to get groceries, which I thought was unbelievable. Los Angeles, like New York, are two of the epicenters where 99% of Americans don't really consider that to be the United States, even though it technically is. However, certain weird parts of the United States are starting to mimic that, and one of them is I think it's called New Orleans Parish. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. In other words, I don't know if it's the mayor of New Orleans or the parish mayor, and I forget her name. She is completely destroying all the businesses there. A lot of them have spoken up, and they say that their business is down by 70+%, so they're being destroyed. And I heard an enormous amount of people and read probably 30 pages of comments from Los Angeles residents about the fact that Los Angeles is implementing a Magic Juice. Magic Juice, you got to flip out your card, your Magic Juice card to, go places, restaurant. That, I've been told that it's unconstitutional and it's unlawful. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the specific law on that, but hundreds of more military troops are being added to Australia. I I didn't believe there's two amazing things out of Australia. I did not believe it. I thought it was tinfoil hat wackadoodleness, but I confirmed it, and there's countless thousands of people talking about this. And I know about FEMA camps too. I just want to be objective. I don't want to be, Chicken Little, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Then I went to the government website of Australia where they're talking about these quarantine camps. You can call them quarantine camps if you like, but they're internment camps. Doesn't matter what you call it. I mean, if you're imprisoning somebody against their will, there's a lot of names we could call that, and that would be demonstrably and empirically valid denotations of what a place like this is, where you throw somebody in a place and you lock them up against their will. This one is in Mickleham. It's the Mickleham internment camp. Oh, excuse me, I meant to say quarantine camp. I couldn't believe it until I found all the government websites back this up. I did get confirmation from what an enormous amount of Australians told me, and this is Australians telling me this. They told me, okay, it's not me saying this, that there's an extremely high percentage of Karens in Australia, and I kind of laughed that off, and I went to a website where they were talking about the quarantine camps, for instance, at Mickleham. It's a huge facility. They're building it now, right? That should tell you something too. They don't have to make speculations to make conclusions based on the fact that they're building it now. Not like a year and a half ago, but they're building it now. That should tell you something. I'll let you make a conclusion on that. So, talking about this quarantine camp on an Aussie website called theage.com.au, I read through about many pages of comments of people, Australians, commenting on this quarantine camp, and I assume that others are being built. I know that one for certain. And all of these Australian comments, like about 95% of them, I kid you not, were to the effect of, oh, this is wonderful, this is so good, as soon as we could do this, we'll be able to get over the hump. Or another comment would say something to the effect of, oh, this is great news. I wish we built it a year and a half ago. Yeah, throw them in there. I mean, they were not joking. They were... I love Australians, but the comments from the Australians in regards to the quarantine camp were nearly 180 degrees diametrically opposed to if that were like some sort of FEMA camp being built in Idaho or something like that. And Americans were... I couldn't believe that it was literally about 95% of people giving up, yeah, cheers, mate, cheers on that quarantine camp, fair dinkum, throw them in there. Awesome. What? I don't want to comment on that. I did find that shocking. I mean, I will make a subjective statement that I actually found that quite shocking. One that I did not believe, but I found thousands of people talking about it, countless references, and I forget the Australian official, that they're rounding up 24,000 plus school kids, and the parents are not allowed into a stadium to presumably get the magic juice. I saw the video. I've seen thousands and thousands. I didn't believe it. I thought this was complete, as they say in England, rubbish. I didn't believe it, actually. And the Australian official said something like, you need to grab a hold of it, this opportunity. Grab a hold of this opportunity. And he said, we'll take good care of your kids. I don't know if that's like the first round to 24,000 was mentioned. If that's like the first round of them. I'm not going to make any subjective statements regarding anything in this video, specifically this, and it is a genuine Australian official. I found the Australians that sent me this, and they sent it to me in droves. I didn't you got to give me more sources than just this video. I got a lot of sources on the video. I couldn't believe it until I got confirmation number XYZ. I couldn't believe it. You tell me what you think about that. I don't need to make any subjective statements regarding that. I have, like I said, I did get sick the day before yesterday. I didn't make any videos. I had an avalanche. I kid you not, no exaggeration, an avalanche of emails from New Zealanders about the fact that they throw the whole country into prison basically over one case, and tons of email from tons and tons of Australians. And about 80% of the Australians told me something to the effect that, like, we're really scared here. You know, my family is scared. We have no idea what the F is going on. This is getting scarier and scarier. Day by day, it just gets more and more scarier. I got confirmation, which I didn't believe was true, that apparently a $3,000 fine was not enough of the countless fines for people, you know, walking, you know, out in the park and sniffing the roses. You know, the fine went up from 3,000 Australian dollars to 5,000, and other fines increased. Also, too, I confirmed this. I didn't believe it was possible. This is the headline: Australians who post independent media content, which means anything. Like, you just want to talk about something else. Like, I don't understand this. I'm scared. Independent media content can mean anything at all. Australians who post independent media content online could face $11,000 fines. I got sent quite a few videos out of Paris, France. I saw people, and I use this word specifically, not loosely. I saw people, obviously they had broken the Magic Juice card thing regarding a restaurant and restaurants. I saw French citizens that were being brutalized by a lot of cops who had their nightsticks. I saw people being, you know, whipped with baton. I don't know if they were batons or nightsticks, but they were sticks, being whipped, and I use the word accurately. They were being whipped and brutalized because they'd obviously broken some ordinance regarding sipping their cafe latte, or, you know, eating their French baguette in a restaurant. I saw several videos like that. It wasn't just one restaurant, so there were a lot of cops dragging people across the concrete, and there were people being whipped with sticks, brutalized with sticks. I don't need to insert my subjective comment on that, but I'll let you tell me what you think on that one. Oh, New South Wales, a lot of Australians sent me this. Like I said, I had a lot of Australians tell me they're absolutely scared, witless. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. A lot of Australians say it's just getting worse every day. We don't get this. It's amazing. New South Wales has a new thing called Operation Stay at Home, and I got sent. They're genuine. I verified these images of these placards of images like, don't you know, have intimate relationship with other people. And I don't want to get into the grotesqueries, but the Australian government was sending information to its citizens via these essentially propaganda type posters, to the effect of, you know, dictating how people should live their intimate lives. I'm not going to comment on that either. I did find it extremely strange in a certain sense. I mean, that is a subjective comment. The Department of Homeland Security here in the United States, their updated website is extremely broad, and it's broad and shocking, as is by parallel the Australian information that independent, you know, like if you have a blog in Australia and you just post your comments and views on things, you know, they're going to fine you 11,000 Australian dollars. Independent media content. I don't know whether these are laws or not. I'm 99% certain that these are not laws, rather that they're mandates and pontifications. You don't know if you know what the word pontification is. You know, where things come down from leaders that are not laws, but you have to follow them anyway, even though they're not laws. And that's an accurate statement. Please tell me what you think on this. Like I said, I am an information sponge. Right now in the United States, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but real estate has absolutely gone flat out ape nuts. This is at a 50 plus year low of housing availability, homes, so on and so forth. You know, place to live. That includes, and the rent has gone up. If you're just renting a place, it's gone astronomically higher, but houses have gone ridiculous. Like the average median home, you know, in California is risen to $800,000+. In other words, that's the average. If you lumped all the homes in California, I know for a fact because I look at land every day. Every day I look at land. What's new? Everything that is a decent-sized piece of land has completely vanished, and prices have gone radically crazy. People are fleeing the cities in droves as fast as they can, as quick as they can. That's not an exaggeration. So far as what is going on in Los Angeles and New York, and for example, that parish in New Orleans, I know that's going to spread. I'm going to make a speculation on this based upon all evidence as an independent observer and someone with their head on a swivel, that this is the absolute most perfect way imaginable to bring people to their knees. Absolutely. Also, too, people, here's another thing, and this has been confirmed. People with serious health issues, I've been watching this for the past 2 days, and a lot more cases have come up. People that are so seriously ill, they're on the organ donor list. They've been on the organ donor list for years, but they're so sick and they're so frail that their doctors have told them that they can't get the magic juice. And they themselves are not against it, but, you know, the magic juice could kill them. But because they're not, and this has been confirmed by multiple sources, these people are essentially being murdered because after many years of waiting and their lives on the line on the organ donor list, the hospitals are kicking them off the organ donor list because they refuse to get the magic juice. And it's not on any principle of anything specific. It's they themselves are, you know, have autoimmune issues, and they've been consulted by their doctors that you know, that they're so immunocompromised that the juice would very likely kill them. And so, you know, they want to stay alive, but they've been kicked. Resultantly, they've been kicked off of the organ donor list. This is not hearsay, rumor. It's been confirmed. Multiple instances of this now have come forward. And I'm not going to comment on that, but I'd love to hear from you on that one. Getting back to my last comment in this video, if I were of such an evil intent, which of course I'm not, and I have no power, and I want no power, and I wanted to bring people to their... People don't realize this. Most people... I've never heard this on the news, and the news, of course, is evil and useless. You know that, and I know that. That once you have a person on their knees, collectively or individually, okay, once you have them on their knees, then, you know, it's... You've won. The only thing you have to do... You don't have to break somebody, you know, totally break them. You just have to bring them to their knees. The fact that people are unable to go to work, being kept from work, being locked down, and their businesses are being destroyed. They can't pay the bills. They can't pay the rent. They can't pay the house insurance, car insurance, property taxes, on and on and on. Everybody is being brought to their knees. Not super quickly, but they are being brought to their knees. And once you are on your knees, I will tell you flat out, period, then it's always game over. Once you're on your knees, it's game over. 99, not totally, but about 99% of the time it's game over. And that's something to think about. I've had to adjust my life radically too. My income is down by half. You know, my hands are hurting right now because I just got done doing a lot of leather work. And my trip to Florida was a business trip to buy gator so I can make alligator wallets and other things that, you know, help assist to pay the bills. So, my house and car are paid for. I find it impossible to understand someone else who has, you know, a house payment and a car payment and a wife and a kid or two or whatever. I mean, how are they making it? I have no wife, no kids. My wife is dead. She died of cancer. I have no wife, no kids. But my house, my crummy little house, such as it is, and my car are paid for, you know. I mean, I have regular bills that are just nonstop, like house insurance, car insurance, property taxes, regular taxes. but I don't have a lot of bills at quite a few people. I don't know how they're making it because I can barely make it and I work 7 days a week. So people are being brought to their knees. Um, that is my subjective statement in this video. You know, I'm going to say that collectively with my head on a swivel and being an information sponge is that people are being brought to their knees, and once you're on your knees, it is checkmate, as they say in Russian, shakhmaty. It's game over, checkmate. So you tell me what you think. I always read every comment. Tell me what's going on in your part of the world. I am an information sponge. I absolutely love to collect information. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.